And how does one become unfuckable with? Let's ask Ash Ambirge from the Middle Finger Project. Yay! Hi everybody, and I'm here today with Ash Ambirge from the Middle Finger Project, one of my favourite people that I love to stalk online, and so I'm really, really excited to be interviewing her for my wonderful tribe. So Ash, would you be so kind, for those of you that don't know who you are, and God knows why that would happen, they must be living under a rock, but just what is the story of the Middle Finger Project and you?
Well, first of all, if you don't know who I am yet, it's probably a blessing. This is a good thing because I do run this blog and this website and community called the Middle Finger Project, which is funny because I promise, I never actually give the middle finger in real life. I don't run around like, I can't even do it right now. Like, I'm like, anxious. But yeah, it was a great brand name when I set off in 2009 to make a place where people like you and me who are looking to build unconventional careers using the internet could go and find great creative ideas. And that's still what we do to this day. 2009 to 2016, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like 100 million years in internet years, isn't it? I think you put that in a blog post recently as well.
Yes, sometimes I feel like I'm really old. And just the other day I heard this word, fleek? On fleek?
Oh, yeah. I've heard it. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I think a lot of people in Essex say it, which is an area of England where they speak like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what that means. I'm definitely internet old. I'm internet old because there are people that do know what that means.
Yeah. I think it's a certain genre of people that know what it means, though. I think we're still cool. I'm doing thumbs, which isn't cool, so no, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not cool.
Just use the other finger, girl. Use the other finger.
All of them.
It is a pleasure to be here, though. Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome. And I'm really excited to introduce you to the people that follow my work to you because I think we're very similar in that we don't do things the way that everyone says we should do things. And you were very successful. Yeah. But we've forged our own success by doing things our own, bloody minded way, which is great because I think that gives other people the opportunity to do the same. So the thing that I find quite interesting about you is that obviously you're smart. You write amazingly well. You're the only person whose emails I actually read, by the way.
Thank you. That is a humongous compliment.
I read my own as well, but because I like to find on my own geeky writing. But you're the only person who, when it lands in my email, I'm just like, I have to read yours.
Thank you.
But the thing that I'm fascinated with mostly is like, how did you turn? Because I know you started off like a blog, but how did you turn the Middle Finger Project into a business? Because now you have products in there as well. It's not just a blog and just a community, but you actually sell, from that website platform as well. Like, how did you do that? Because your writing is so unconventional, and you don't really write in a way that kind of lets people know you have products in a way. It's kind of like a strange hybrid. So how did you do that, and what made you suddenly add in products there too?
Sure. I mean, it's been a huge evolution over time. I was just writing this morning that a lot of times people categorize me as a blogger, right? And I can identify because I do blog, and I do blog often, and I've been blogging for years. However, I think that word itself never tells the full story, because more than a blogger, what I really am is a businesswoman who uses a blog.
Yes.
Right? So I think that's the best way to explain it. In the beginning, yes, I did have the Middle Finger Project, and I started blogging, just straight up blogging and talking about some of the topics, just like, look, like, what are we all doing here? What are we doing? Like, wasting our lives sitting in this office. Like, this is disgusting. What are we doing here? And then I had started a copywriting business separately. Mm-hmm. So I was doing some freelance work, doing writing, and then I was doing blogging. And then one day I realized that, holy shit, I could combine the two. Yeah, it's a lot of work keeping up with two different things. And so originally, and this is coming out in a book that I'm writing right now, originally I had made some horrible financial decisions. The copywriting business was sucking out. I mean, really bad. I was using a lot of the old clients that I had from my past life doing sales, advertising sales. So I had a lot of big corporations in contacts of those big corporations, and I was able to kind of get my way in the door, which is awesome. However, here's me, and I'm writing all of this copy for like pharmaceutical companies and tech, medical device companies and white papers and things that weren't really down the creative path that I had hoped, right? So I made some poor financial decisions because I really wasn't that keen to keep getting these clients. And I was seeing my bank account dwindle and dwindle, and I was kind of just like living on a prayer. And this was in my early days, right? This was maybe in 2009. No, 10. Por ahí. Spanish. And so what I decided to do one day, it occurred to me that, look, like I have this whole blog full of people, and most people, when they set out to write a book or sell something, they're writing, they're struggling because they've got the product, they've got the book, they've got the idea, and then they have to go find an audience for that. And that's very difficult sometimes, especially if you're starting from ground zero. I had the opposite, and it occurred to me, wow, got this amazing, I think at the time it was probably 3,500 people, 3,500-ish of subscribers. It was still baby, but I realized it's 3,500 people. Like, wow, what if they want to either purchase this book that I was writing or hire me for services, creative services? And so I took a chance, and I put out some announcements, and next thing I know, it was like, yes. And I was like, whoa, really? And that's how it all started. I mean, it was as simple as just putting out the offer and making it happen. And ever since, I've grown the platform. And I haven't stopped. I keep writing things and writing books and making workshops and having fun with it.
Oh, I know. And your brand does look like so much fun as well. Like even the names you give, like your products, because I'm in the same vein as you. I like to make things fun. I like to like name things in a way that people, aren't expecting. And I just find it so funny. You make everything. I actually bought one of your products actually. Love Business Owner.
Oh yeah.
It's great. I don't actually use it very often, but when I need it, it's very useful to have. And I just bought it because I was like so intrigued.
Yes.
The way you named it, like Love Business Owner, because like you're signing off like a letter.
That was a fun product to make. That was really great. Yeah. It's
really fun inside there as well, the way it is like laid out and stuff. And so if anyone's having trouble replying to anyone about anything, go and buy Ash's product.
Thanks. I used to get asked all the time, like, what should I say to this? How would you respond? What's a professional way that is still assertive without coming across like a total overbearing ass? And so I was like, I'm gonna make a whole gigantic database full of just like legitimate responses of what I would say to things.
It's really good because like I struggle with it sometimes because I'm a gobby girl. I'm not very polite sometimes. So I sometimes, and especially when I get emails where I think, are they just being stupid? I'm just like, no, don't do it, don't reply. But you've nailed it. You've nailed it. So you get to be polite and professional, but still a bit kick-ass in the reply, which is great.
Thank you. We all go through that, right? We're all like, oh my God, like I'm pissed about this email, and I really want to say something fiery. And then you're like, don't do it.
Don't do it. Take a breath and come back to it when you're not angry.
But sometimes it's hard. It really is hard, and you can still like have that sense of bitterness coming out in your little sentence there. You can like you had to get that zinger in.
I know. It's so funny. I swear, I'm not passive aggressive at all, but I think sometimes my emails might be channels out there. But the thing that I really find strange about, not strange, well, yeah, strange, because you're all strange. So it's strange in a good way.
It's all good.
Is that the way you do your blog and your business website, themiddlefingerproject.org, is that you don't really use much in the way of imagery. It's just words. words, and even like your little call to actions are just words. And I'm like, wow, this is really unusual, because I feel that we live in a very visual environment online these days, and it's almost like images are getting bigger and bigger and more flashier and flashier, and we're going like image insane, and the writing's disappearing and the images are getting bigger. And so, but you're like the complete flip of that, and it's almost like, oh, there's no images, it's just your words. So it's almost like you're showcasing your skill. I mean, was it a strategy?
You know, I wish I could say it's like this amazing strategy and I've got like all of this thought behind it. The truth is this: I am not a photographer. I suck at anything design related. I have no idea what's going on. And oftentimes I'm writing blog posts very off the cuff. I don't plan out an editorial calendar. I don't do any of that stuff. So first of all, it's more conducive to my style of writing, where I'm kind of just putting it out there. Second, you know, the idea for me, since I am a writer, is to highlight the words. But third, we are working on some redesign stuff to actually make the visual element a little bit more on brand. Right now, we did great with making it seem more polished and more magazine newspapery, and now we need a little bit more punch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're working on it. It's always a work in process, any website. But I think I could use a little bit more of that, like, you know, a little voxel image or some shit.
Yeah, because I think like the images that you do have, you know, when you've got the ones that you top, and I noticed that you change them quite frequently as well, with your little phrases and stuff. They're like so much fun, and I can just imagine, you know, you having these images. But I really like the fact that your website is so clean, you know, and it's just really obvious what you do. You come in, there's a blog post on the front, there's, you know, and then your menu, and then funny stuff. Oh God, your website makes
snark mode. I love snark mode.
Yeah, the snark mode. I flipped it to see what would happen. I was like, haha, that's genius. But if anyone listening that doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, go to middlefingerproject.org and look for the snark mode button and
yes.
see what happens.
And we recently acquired the middlefingerproject.com, so I am so thrilled. It's about time, right?
Yeah. I was wondering why you didn't have it. I guess someone owned it.
Someone did own it for years, and, you know, I just never made a big hoopty-la about it. However, one of my students from last year on a writing class I gave, she gifted it to me. She found it, she purchased the domain, and she gave it to me as a present, which was amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like a few $1,000.
That's the kind of students you need. That's amazing.
I know. I'm the best gift ever. I'm like, yes, I will take that.
That's totally the best gift ever. That's amazing. But now I'm going to get confused. I guess you're just going to do some domain pointing, so everyone, no matter what domain they put in now, it's just going to go to you.
Oh yeah. Well, somebody will ninja that up.
Someone else can deal with that.
Hopefully, or my website is just going to completely just be broken. Like, like if I had to do something like that, no hope.
I know. I build my own, but I'm quite good at them now. But like, I think there's going to become a point where I have to hand it over. But I'm such a control freak. I'm a bit terrified to hand it over. I know if something goes wrong, I know what to do, and then I'd worry that they wouldn't be doing it.
It is terrifying. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, and I'm terrified. I'm like, are you sure you want to Google Apps for work? What? I don't even know.
The world is confusing enough. It's like there's so much stuff online to know. It's crazy. But like I crowdsourced a couple of questions from my tribe, by the way, because they were really fascinated that you were being interviewed with me. And one of the things they wanted to know about, because you know what, I obviously kind of like looked at what I do, and I teach people how to build e-courses and info products, that kind of thing. And one of the
this monetization, I love it.
Really? Oh, that's really nice. Thanks. I love it too, and I really firmly believe that teaching is like the new coaching. I think I'm not really down with like coaching and stuff like that. I think when people step up and become teachers, like you teach the actual tools, I teach the tools. We're like mechanics getting out there and getting people, really helping people like generate some bloody profit in the world from doing the stuff they love, right?
Love it.
So one of the questions that one of my ladies asked is like, all your products, your courses and everything are always for sale. They're evergreen. So how on earth do you do that? Because in the online world these days, it seems like it's very difficult to have evergreen products. People are so used now to people launching, and then stuff isn't available, and then they wait for it to be available, and then they buy it because it's available and it's only available for a short time, and there's this whole like horrible like world like that. You don't do that. You have your stuff just there, and you don't even really try and sell it in your emails. You're not very salesy at all. So do people, literally, are people just like buying from you all the time because they just like you and what you're blogging about?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. I have a hybrid strategy, I would call it, where some of our products, yes, are super evergreen, like Love Business Owner. That's not going anywhere for sure. However, it's interesting because urgency and what you're talking about here, this idea of like, wow, you have to buy it right now, because if you don't, then it's going to go away. It really is such a big component for online sales. It's huge.
Yeah.
So I do what I tend to do year after year is I will launch something. Let's say it's a class. I'll do it in a time sensitive framework where it's like, look, you want to be in it, come in it, but it's going to be just you and me for these, weeks or whatever. And that's really great. That handles the urgency part. But then I always have requests for people forever and ever being like, well, can I take that class? And I'm like, I ran it a long time ago. But what I'll usually do is come out with a downloadable version of that same class for, a less expensive price, but also for a limited time. So I'll do that. And it really does help on the back end with a significant chunk of revenue. But usually I'll take them down. So I've just taken actually everything down recently. And I really don't have much for sale right now except for Love Business Owner and a book I wrote called You Don't Need a Job, You Need Guts.
Awesome.
I think that's it. So I'm rolling out some really new fun products and workshops and classes. But, urgency is huge. I will say, when I do launches with evergreen stuff like Love Business Owner, you really suffer from a revenue standpoint in the beginning. It's over the long term that it finally does start to pick up. But yeah, most of the time people come to the blog, they read the emails. I intentionally am very nurturing because I'm in it for the long term. And then it's really, it works out for me from a profit standpoint, because the minute I do finally send a sales email, it still feels novel, I think, for people. And I think they're more receptive to the message overall. So that's been my strategy. I know other people do it different ways, but it's been working out pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's a great strategy. And like you say, it's that kind of like long-term relationship, isn't it, that you're building? Whereas I sometimes get the impression from some people in the online world that they're just like, I just want to earn like 6 figures now. And quickly. And there's this like horrible kind of like need for some people to get to somehow within 5 minutes of starting a business to have 6 figures in the bank account.
Yeah, we have a good chunk of the Middle Finger Project audience has been with me since the early days, and since like 2009 or 10. And it's funny because they email me sometimes and they comment. They're like, "Wow, like I've watched this happen and this evolution and da 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 da." So it's a good thing because those repeat customers do. Over time, they really do provide the backbone for a business. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great. And it's nice to see someone doing it in a different way, because a lot of people that come to me to learn the stuff to sell, I don't really teach so much of the sales side, because I'm really all about product creation, although I do teach
so
some
cool.
sales. But you can see them panicking about, I need to, if I don't make 5 figures in the first 5 seconds of launching, I'm a failure. And it's like, oh my God, like, what are you reading? This is a lot. Once you've built that product, you've got it for life. You're going to, this is the long game.
And for anyone out there who's going through that, I think the very first pre-sale I ever ran for that book I was talking about, I might have made like between $2,000 and $3,000.
Yeah, same.
Not huge. That's like a baby thing, but it was such an important first step. So.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think people just like if And I've just interviewed like a guest expert from my Passive Income Rocks program, and she's a launch expert, and we both came to the conclusion, like, really, it's just like, if you get one person to buy from you, that's amazing. Like, you should like cherish that moment that some stranger on the internet has decided you're worthy to give money to you.
Yes, I still remember. I mean, the girl who gave the first sale I ever had, I saw it come in. I wanted to run up to her and kiss her feet. Yeah, I've got her. Like, I'm writing about this in the book right now that I'm writing. So it's funny. It's all fresh in my brain, that whole moment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your book. Tell us about your book. What are you writing?
Well, I'm super excited. It's a little secretive, but it's really, it's mostly like a business memoir meets career advice for young women. Talking about this idea of, hey, let's not wait for the world to give us something. Let's not be at the mercy of everyone and employers and jobs, and let's get out there and create something ourselves. So it's part my story and part advice for doing this. It's kind of like the girl boss of the internet.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, it'll be good.
I love it. I think more like girl bosses of the internet should be writing books. I get it.
So much fun.
I'm writing 2 now, but
you are?
I'm writing 2. I know, nuts. Yeah, but I like writing, so
that is wild. Good for us.
Yeah, I know, because it's like, this is it. We can stand there and show the next people coming up, like, how it's done. Hey.
Yeah. Here's what not to do.
Here's the mistakes I made. And guess what? You can be a total weirdo on the internet and still succeed. Totally.
I've got a whole treasure chest full of mistakes I've made. So
yeah,
we're all in the same boat. We're in good company. Oh,
yeah. It's all about learning from those mistakes. You got to make them to learn from them. I see a lot of people not taking risks at all, like playing it so safe. And then they're like, why does no one buy my stuff? I'm like, well, you're camouflaged into the sea of sameness on the internet because you're not being your real self.
Camouflaged. I like that.
I said I call them. What do I call them? The clones and drones and pastel tones. You know what I'm talking about.
I love it. You need to trademark that.
Clones and drones and pastel tones. TM.
TM is right. Yeah, it's like, it's a weird thing. Even when you hear that phrase, like, why is someone buying my stuff? It sounds so strange to me. Like, it really is like this hoaxy thing that people are kind of putting on together. And it's weird. It's like, dude, maybe because you're not taking yourself seriously like a real legit company. And I think that's missing, right? Yeah. It's like the sense you can just get on the internet and, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like, it's like you've got to have a strategy, dude. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to chuck something out there and see what happens. It's like, well, you can do that too, but then you've got to learn from what happens afterwards. Yeah. And I think there's a big the thing that I see, and I think you've mentioned this actually, Ash, in some of your blog posts, which are quite outspoken, is the rise of the kind of the instant expert. The rise of I can just fake it till I make it. I can just chuck something out there. It doesn't matter how low grade it is, and it's okay because I'm just being me and blah blah blah. But actually, do you know what? Like, it's really important to be really good at something. Like, you're really good at writing. I'm really good at helping people build courses. Like, I didn't come to that by accident. That was years and years and years of training and practice and, doing it. And, I think there's a real problem with people just going, I've just decided to be a business coach, even though I've never run a business. And I decided 5 minutes ago, and I'm going to charge $2,000 million for my services.
Yeah, that's really scary. It's incredibly scary. And usually when I'm talking about those posts, I'm even talking about people that have a real ethical professional duty to know what they're doing. I'm talking about people that are, they might be dentists, or they might be accountants, lawyers, all of those people that have a real ethical duty to really to know their stuff.
Yeah.
But really, the internet lets anybody put up a fancy website and proclaim to be the next coming of Christ. When they might be like a shoddy dentist who never actually went to dental school, or a psychologist or whatever. I mean, that is really scary because we aren't doing our due diligence to check it out. You know, nobody is. We're just kind of like, oh, look, their website looks legit. Their copy looks legit. That's what prompted me to start thinking about it. I'm a copywriter. I write copy for people so they look legit. And it's very scary. You have to do that responsibly.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like responsible too, because I don't want to teach people to build e-courses based on empty skills. So I'm trying to be very clear when I, onboard people into my program that this is for people who have expertise and knowledge. This is not for someone who's just like, hey, so did I go to an e-course?
Yes, I'm just going to commit plagiarism and copy everyone off the internet and just stick it all in one place. This is creepy. It's weird what you can do.
Yeah. I've actually had that happen to me several times as well. People plagiarizing my stuff and reselling it online. They're like,
that's horrible.
No, yeah, this is really horrible as well. Yeah, it's horrible for everyone, because it's horrible for me because my stuff's being ripped off. It's also horrible for the people they're teaching who are being ripped off too, because that person can't really help them if they've never actually done the thing they're claiming to help with. It's a bit of a nuts world, and I really like the way you've been quite outspoken about it in your blog post, calling it out, because a lot of people are afraid to do that. I called it out a while back, and people were like, people get a bit funny, like as if you're being like jealous or something. It's like, no, this is about integrity.
Integrity, such a good word. I mean, it's a thing, right? This is what we talk about as online business, and this is it's a growing concern. I think technology is so cool for all the stuff you can do with it, but it also really opens up some new doors, and I think it's good to talk about. We have to create that dialogue. Yeah,
I absolutely agree with you, like totally. And and this is why, like, you're probably the only person I look at stuff online, because sometimes I sign up to other people's things and I get the information. I'm like, this person doesn't sound like they know what they're doing. They're just putting this layer of fluff, like, oh, you can just have what you want if a unicorn passes your way. But what? So you've clearly never run a business, girl.
I know. This is really weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. I think that people need to learn the art of discernment.
Yeah.
We're giving discernment for a reason, right? But I'm so, yeah, definitely. Be discerning. Get the bullshit scanner on. Ooh. That's such an amazing teacup.
Thank you.
Covers your entire face when you...
I know. I have it in green and yellow as well.
Amazing.
I know.
I'll have to put a link below this. It's like, where can you buy like massive teacups, like Ash's teacups?
Well, actually, funny enough, I didn't even buy them in a set. I'm such a weirdo that I bought the first one. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I went back to the same store for a completely different other item. Actually, it's at a grocery store down the street in this random town in Costa Rica. And I saw the other color that they had. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get another one. And then I went back a third time, like, 6 months later. I'm like, oh, they've got the third color. Great. I'm just going to keep buying these.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with some quick fire questions. You ready?
Bring it.
Okay, favorite drink?
Wine. Red wine, hands down. I've really been into Cabernet Franc lately because it tastes like green pepper, and I think that's sexy. Green peppers.
Green peppers. It tastes like green peppers. Seriously, those make me burp.
God, there's a chemical in the grape that actually is somehow the similar chemical to actual green peppers, so they share that property, and it is awesome. Like, yes.
I want to try it now. I want to try it just so I can taste weird burpy green peppers.
Do it. Cabernet Franc, baby.
Okay, next one. How many complaints have you had for swearing?
Oh, never. I don't get them ever. I used to in the beginning, a long time ago, years ago. I literally to this day never ever get these emails never come ever. It's weird.
That's insane. All right, if middlefingerproject.org was an animal, what animal would it be?
Well, I mean, my first reaction was absolutely like a big crazy lion, like rah. But I don't know. I don't think that that's true. I think it.
I wasn't actually planning on asking that question. It just came into my head, and I thought I'd just go with it because it was the weirdest question that just came into my head.
We might have to come back to it, but I'm feeling kind of like a peacock is a good one. Yeah. Peacocks feel like they're an original animal. Like you're an original fucking bird. You have all these amazing colors. That just seems like it kind of goes with the whole flavor of at least originality. Yeah.
So hang on, does that mean when you go and do your rebrand more visuals, there's just going to be like blue and green? It's crazy. Instead of all the neutrals we have.
Yeah, if you see that, you know where it came from.
And lastly, oh my God, what was my last question? Oh, why
I'm scared.
Well, I'm curious. Like, why Costa Rica? Why do you live in Costa Rica?
Oh gosh, I studied Spanish here when I was a babe of 19 years old. Which was a while ago because I'm 32 now. And I just kept coming back to visit every once in a while because once I got my business up and running and it is on the laptop just like I planned, my big dream was to travel. And so I started to travel and I was all over, but I stopped in Costa Rica en route to Chile where I lived for quite some time. And I ran into a guy that I used to know and we totally hit it off, had a great time. Next thing I know, he's got a sport fishing charter company here.
Oh, wow.
So I started getting involved in the business and doing some marketing work there online and just having some fun with it. Next thing I know, I was running a retreat here because I had the contacts. And next thing I know, we're engaged 4 years later. So here I am.
That's an amazing story. I love it. Engaged.
But it's hot as hell here. It's really hot as hell. We travel quite a bit because I can't even, I don't even belong on the beach. I'm like the asshole wearing like high heels and black outfits. And everyone's like all hanging out with like their hemp jewelry. And they're like, hey, I'm like, I don't even know how to do this.
I'm like a weird beach hybrid because I'm not a high heelsy kind of girl, but I'd be like the girl on the beach with like black biker boots and a big top and then studded jeans and just inappropriately black clothing, but not getting it all
exactly. Hot. Yes, me too. I just don't belong. I'm such a fish out of water there, and I don't even try anymore.
No, good. I'm sure you look fabulous swanning about with non-hemp jewelry.
Big hats are where it's at. Big, giant, crazy hats. Yes, totally.
And lots of frizzies.
It happens. It happens. That's what the hat is for.
Lots of serum on.
Oh, Star, you're awesome. I'm so glad that we have a chance to talk.
Oh, yeah, you are too. Should we just fangirl each other? Sorry, everyone watching this. Just have a love fest. Well, I want to thank you so much for agreeing to interview me because I know you don't do these very often. I interview me. I'm getting more words mixed up now. I'm getting so excited.
Oh, it's all good. I adore you. I'm just as excited.
It's nearly 7 o'clock in the evening here, so it's gin time for me. So my brain will be messing up.
That is awesome. I hope that you email me or tweet me soon and you're like reporting back on the Cabernet Franc because I feel like you're going to do it.
For the what?
The Cabernet Franc, the wine.
Yeah, you have to like tell me the name of it so I remember, and then I'll go and be burping green pepper.
And hating me every single burp.
Like,
it'd be great.
She was right. I'm going to kill her.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And everyone, go over to themiddlefingerproject.org/.com.
Or.com.
I don't really want to say that. I shall put the link below. And Ash Ambirge's amazing work because honestly, you subscribe to Ash, you do not need to subscribe to anyone else, apart from me, obviously. But yeah, get on that because her emails are like the bomb and they will kick your ass and just make you think that life is worth living.
Thank you. That's an incredible testimony. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Mwah!